Cabernet Sauvignon is the great red grape of Bordeaux and also provides the backbone for innumerable red blends right around the world. But how does it get on as a single variety wine in distant South Australia? We're here to find out. Coonawarra Cab Sav coming right up. Hi folks, welcome to yet another edition of Bigonwine, the show which, as you probably know by now, brings you news, clues and reviews. Indeed, it tries to keep you up to speed about just about everything that's happening in the world of wine. And this week, yes, we're on the road to Australia, in fact, South Australia. My wine of the week is this one here. It goes under the relatively short name of Wynns Coonawarra The Gables, and the vintage is 2016. And this wine comes in for just a smidgen under €16 a bottle where I am. Right, okay, let's see whether we can paint in the backstory to this particular number. Now, this is a Cabernet Sauvignon wine, single variety, so 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's produced by a winery called Wynns Coonawarra Estate, and they are indeed based in South Australia, which doesn't indeed tell us a great deal. But let me say that Coonawarra is roughly halfway between the cities of Adelaide and Melbourne, and that means Australia is a big place after all. That means roughly 400 kilometres in each direction, and Coonawarra is about 100 kilometres or so inland from the coast. The area is famous for its very, very bright red soil. Okay, that's the backstory. The wine, as I say, is 100% Cab Sav. It has 13.5% alcohol, so relatively moderate. And of course, the wine is about 4 years old, so approaching its peak, I would say. Right, let's take a look at the wine in the glass. And as we can see, it has all of the quintessential characteristics of Cab Sav. It has a nice, rich, dense colour to it. It's near to being opaque, although not quite. And it has that famous dark ruby red colour to the wine. So all is in order as far as the colour and consistency of the wine is concerned. All right, let's turn our attention to the nose on this wine and have a quick sniff and see how it behaves. So here we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, this wine immediately communicates a kind of a dark earthiness, which is very much to my liking. Dark earthiness, but if we have to put a name to the fruit involved here, this is dark fruit naturally. I think we're looking primarily at blackberry in this wine. The aroma is very clearly of blackberry, but also maybe a touch of blackcurrant, and undoubtedly also a nice dose of sour cherry in there. So blackberry predominantly, with a little bit of blackcurrant and sour cherry in the mix. Some people have spotted some smokiness in this wine. Maybe there is a little hint of smokiness there, but it's certainly not a predominant feature of the nose. All right, so dark fruit to the fore in the nose, particularly blackberries. Right, let's try it now in the palate and see how we get on. Here we go, looking forward to this. Looks extremely appealing. Now, as you would expect, lovely. As you would expect, this is a full-bodied wine. The flavours in play very much mirror the nose. So pride of place, I think, goes to the blackberry. Now this has got a nice acid to it, and also some nice, how would I define those tannins? Soft? No, perhaps the wrong word. Refined, smooth tannins. So definitely not too aggressive. Very, very appealing. The tannins are quite clearly there, but they're very soft, refined in nature. In terms of flavours, yes, blackberry, but also now a little bit more of plum. One might even say there's some Christmassy fruit in there, something like cranberry. So blackberry, touch of plum, touch of cranberry. Less of the cherry. Cherries maybe just in the background a little bit, but definitely not as strong as in the nose. Smooth tannins. Also, in the finish of the wine, there's something almost green and herby. The wine producers, I think, talk about sage and thyme. I'm not sure I would be able to pin it down that close, but definitely there is something green, fresh, herby in the finish of the wine. All right, now what kind of a temperature are we recommending for serving the wine? Well, I think this is a wine that needs to be served below room temperature, so I would be looking at something around the 17 or 18 degree mark. So just pop it in the fridge for half an hour before you serve it. 17, 18 degrees I think is about right. What are we going to be enjoying this with? Well, I would say that the 2016 vintage of the Gables is probably pretty much at its peak now. It'll remain in good form, I think, for a year or two. But this is the time to be drinking it. Enjoy it, I think, with you know, salami, sausage, cold cuts, grilled dark meat. Why not? Salty cheeses, even something a bit more spicy. Smoked prawns, for example, would go very well. There's a hint of smoke in this wine. All right, let's bring you the heads up on this particular number. This is Wynns Coonawarra Estate The Gables, vintage 2016. This is Australian Cabernet Sauvignon with abundant dark fruit. It's got lovely smooth tannins, even a touch of wood smoke. This is quality stuff, correctly priced. I'm giving it 4 stars out of 5. Okay folks, many thanks for tuning in and checking out this week's video. And of course, this was a little introduction to a single variety wine, a Cabernet Sauvignon, all the way from sunny South Australia. Lovely stuff, refined, smooth tannins, very nice indeed. Okay, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard, then please do feel free to give us a big thumbs up. Yeah, give us a like, we do enjoy getting those. Drop a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and while you're about it, why not hit that bell icon and you'll be informed about all future uploads. And indeed, share the video around to your heart's content. I'll be back again next week, of course, with another great wine of the week for you. But until we meet again, this is Tony Melville signing off and saying, hey, take care out there. Be good to each other. Enjoy your wines. And cheers.